You will always know what you really want to do.
Welcome to the JesseAF show. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome to my daily podcast.
Hey everybody, my name is Jesse Grossball and welcome to the JesseAF show. Today is Wednesday, May 29th, 2019, episode 108 of my daily podcast. Yeah, that's right, daily. That means every single day I'll be posting a new episode, so please check in tomorrow for my next episode. I'm on Google Play Music, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and YouTube. So if you have any of those platforms, please consider subscribing. That way you get notifications for whenever I post a new episode. No matter what you do in your life, you will always know what you really want to do. And I'm going into the whole idea of there are going to be those people in your life that are going to tell you what you should be doing or what you think or what they think is best for you or what they think the world wants from you or whatever it is. And those people will always be there and they will always be telling you. And guess what? Eventually it becomes your own thought, right? You're like, people actually like me for this reason, not that reason. It's literally just forcing you to have the same perspective as all those different people that are telling those things to you. And when you do that, you just kind of lose yourself. You lose who you are and you lose who you really want or what you really want. And no matter what you do with your life, you will always find a way to know exactly what you want to do. And sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes it's really not easy because guess what? Sometimes it's something that just seems like it won't make you enough money for you to live. Like let's say photography, for instance, for me. Okay? I want to be a photographer. I really do, but at the same time, it's not really the most important thing in my life. I want to be a photographer. I love doing photography, and I know I want to do it because I always do it. I'm always photographing things, and yeah, it's my thing. But it's a little tricky to start making money doing photography. I mean, you have to find people that actually want professional photography done. It could be a baptism, it could be a wedding, it could be a graduation, it could be anything. I mean, literally anything, a birthday party. And not too many people are hiring photographers. They aren't. And the only real people that are doing professional work and they want professional work done are people with money or people that have businesses, this or that. And you really have to find those people, and you don't know how to price yourself because maybe you just started and you don't have much experience and you're like, where do I go? How do I start this? How do I actually make money for myself to live off of this? I don't have all this expensive equipment because guess what? I don't have a lot of money. And how do I start a company where I don't have enough money to start the company? And we all go through this period where we're like, I don't know. I like doing it, but I don't have enough money to start it right. And this and that. We make excuses all the time. I mean, no matter what it is, I make excuses, you make excuses, we all make excuses, and these excuses limit us, and it's just a block. We keep blocking ourselves from doing the things that we really want to do, and it sucks. It's not good, and it takes a lot of time out of us. It takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of our life to just realize that that's what we really wanted to do this whole time, but we just never did it because we thought it was just so impossible to do. And we all have that time in our life where we just realize and we just notice and we're like, I'm doing it. No matter what gets in my way, I'm going to push. I'm going to push hard and I'm going to make it. I'm going to do it. No matter what happens, I'm going to stay to it. And if someone tries to get in my way, they're getting out of my way immediately because I'm not letting them stay in my way. And And that's what you have to do. You have to be like, you have to listen to what you actually want in your heart. You have to listen to what you are, who you are. And you can't keep listening to all those other people, because those other people really don't know who you are. Sure, they want to try and help you. Sure, they want what's best for you, but maybe they don't really know who you are. Because maybe you don't even let them know who you are, because you're more closed up than you think you are. Or you're more closed up than they think you are. This happens so too often, or much too often, and people get caught up. They get caught up in this space where they're like, I want to do it, but everyone says I should do this instead, and it's not right for me, and this and that, and it's like, just do what you love doing, and eventually you'll find a way to make it. And I mean, let's think about pricing. Let's go back to that. Okay, photography. Normally you go on YouTube and you will find that everyone and their mom is telling you that the cheapest rate you can go as a photographer is $100 an hour. That's a lot of money, to be honest. It's like, why would anyone pay me $100 an hour if I don't have a portfolio to show them my work? If I don't have thousands of dollars worth of gear to really bring to the table? Why would anyone pay that? No one will. To be honest, no one will. I mean, I was lucky those couple times I got people to pay $100 an hour, but that's all they wanted to do, and they didn't even want me to edit the photos because that was another $100 an hour. And it's like, that's a bad idea. That's just a really bad idea. So I went right down to being as humble as I could be, and now I'm just $20 an hour. Yeah, I am literally a $20 an hour photographer. That's what I do now. Because guess what? I get paid $20 an hour to do school bus driving. I'm worth $20 an hour. Let's start there. Why not? If I was getting paid minimum wage, I'd ask for minimum wage. I'm getting paid $20 an hour, I'll ask for $20 an hour. That's my rate. That's my rate. And that's as good as I am right now, because that's only as much as the market is letting me. The market is the ultimate factor. I mean, you can charge $100 an hour to every single person you try and do photos for, but they're not going to be happy. They won't. They will be like, why am I paying $100 an hour for this? Is it really worth it? Is this really going to be worth $100 an hour? I hope so. And if it's not exactly what they expect, guess what? You're going to get bad rep. They're going to find a way to dislike the photos, and they're going to be like, no, not worth it. Not worth $100 an hour. I'm sorry, but not worth it. The photos were great, but they weren't amazing. They didn't do this, they didn't do that. They were not up to my expectation. They did not have enough experience. And that's your problem. You need to gain experience. You need to create a portfolio. You need to get work done at a lower rate where you can comfortably make enough money, where you're not giving away all of your photos for free. I'm a good photographer. Don't get me wrong. I'm great. But I like charging $20 an hour now because yeah, sure, my photos could be $100 an hour quality, but I don't feel comfortable with it yet because I haven't done it long enough. I have not done it long enough where I can comfortably say $100 an hour. That's it. I'm taking it or leaving it. You could take it or leave it, and I'm not comfortable with that level yet because I don't have strobe lights that literally cost $1,000 each. I don't have a lens that costs $1,000. I don't. And I don't have a camera that costs over $1,000. All those people that are charging $100 an hour, they have that equipment. They have all that expensive stuff. Maybe they might have their own studio. I don't. So I have to work from the bottom. I have to gain enough traction doing $20 an hour. That way I can really sell it. I can really bring it home. And that way, people will just hear about me and they'll be like, 20 an hour, it's a great deal. Don't get me wrong. This guy is cheap, but he's a really good photographer. And then everyone gets to hear about me. And then I have so much to post and so much content to deliver on social media. That way, even more people will hear about me. 20 an hour eventually becomes 25, maybe 30 an hour. Maybe you get really risky and you go 40 an hour. And it's like, I'm getting 40 an hour now. You have to do that. You have to go through those levels. I mean, you can't expect people to just hand you $100 an hour. I could do it. I could sell it, but I don't feel comfortable doing it. So that's where I'm starting. And that's where you should start. Maybe you are great at doing financial work. Maybe you are a great accountant. Maybe there's a business out there in your area that is doing really, really bad and they're just not making enough money to keep their business alive, and you just notice it. Maybe you're working there and you're just noticing how they're just not able to pay things. Like AC is not a thing because that's too much money, because electric is expensive. And maybe you should volunteer your services for doing their money work. Don't ask for $100 an hour, because I know that's a normal rate for that too. Ask for maybe $10 an hour. Maybe just do it with your normal rate that you get paid. Maybe even less if they don't trust you enough. And just gain their confidence. Gain the confidence to do that work. And guess what? You save them enough money. That way they can eventually save up to make their business better. That way they can employ more marketing. That way they can market their business better. That way they can earn more money and inevitably pay you more money to do the work that you're doing. And if they don't pay you enough money to do the amazing work that you're doing for them, and they're doing great now, and they've become net positive, over $1,000 net positive, or maybe over $20,000 net positive, and they're just not paying you a bonus because of that, leave. Find someplace else. Do that with another company. Do that. Keep doing that with more and more companies until they finally start paying you what you deserve. You will earn so much experience, and then you'll become a professional at what you do, and guess what? That'll be your thing. Okay, guys. This is a little bit long. I know, I went over again. Whatever. It's just what I do. I love talking and I cannot stop talking. That's why I do a daily show. But if you really want to see the rest of this episode, I know I love the rest of this episode. Trust me, it's good content. You're not going to be disappointed. I talk more about pricing and negotiation and how you should really start low and work your way up. Do it. Go ahead, click on Google Play Music, Apple Podcast, or search up SoundCloud on your browser. Find the podcast and listen to it. That's where the rest of it is. I hope to see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you have a really great day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this episode.